Hi everybody, happy Monday. Happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday. Okay, it's 12:30 on Monday. I'm not just coming live to sing to you. I'm in my office. Have been doing some work, been doing some returns, various other bits and pieces. And I thought I would just hop on to give you some Monday motivation and a few Monday thoughts that have been whirling around in my head, and all of that jazz, especially over the weekend. I've had a really busy weekend. I hope you guys have too. Bear with me. I am just bringing up Sense Squad on my computer because then I can see comments, because I can't always see comments. Can't always see comments and it's a little bit frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. So good morning if you are, well, good afternoon if you are with me, and you've managed to catch me live. Hello, please drop a little comment down below, let me know you're here. Feel free to tag your friends, your friends in Sense Squad, obviously. So it's Monday and a few things have got my braining over the weekend and over the last 24 hours, I would probably say. This morning, my brain has been doing some thought processes about what we do, network marketing, being a leader in general, just being somebody in the online space, okay? And I am hoping what I'm going to say is going to really resonate with you and get you excited and get you thinking about like this week and set you up for this week, really, more than anything. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping this is going to set you up for the week and make you think to yourself, do you know what, I can do this. So one of the biggest things that people say to me when they decide, like I say to them, you should join Sensi, you should do what I do, you should have a go at this. A lot of people say to me, oh, I couldn't do what you do. I just haven't got the confidence. I worry too much about what other people think and I just couldn't do it. And I know that there are a lot of you guys, and be honest, if this is you, you can pop it below, who worry about what other people think. And you say to me things like, I don't want to post on social media all the time because I worry that I'm going to annoy people, or I don't like to post in a public page because I don't really want people to know that, or I don't want people to think I'm spamming, or that I even do this. I just do this for my friends and family because I don't want people to judge me. And we've all been judged, right, at some point in our lives. I have been judged in many different aspects of my life. And this was something that came up when I went out on Wednesday. I went to London and I went to a thank you party for the skincare brand who I've done some social media stuff for. And it was really lovely to sort of sit and chat to people in the room, and everybody in the room was really normal. It wasn't like going to like a L'Oreal event or anything like that where everybody's skin was like immaculate and perfect. These were real women in a room, and they were just people who had shared at some point on social media that they loved this particular skincare brand. The skincare brand then quite often will share their posts and things that they've done, and they might earn a little bit of money from that, okay? But one of the things that came up was somebody said to me, I love that you are just not afraid to put yourself out there. And I actually said to this girl, I said, look, I have been judged and I have been looked at in every way, shape or form in my life. All the way through school, there was judgment about the group of friends that I had, or what I was wearing, or whether I was a girly enough girl, or whether I was someone that was clever or popular. There was that whole judgment, right? I then got judged because I had children first. Out of all of my friends, I was the first to have children. I got pregnant really, really quickly, and there was judgment. There was judgment there, okay? Whether people say there wasn't, there was judgment there. Then there's obviously like when you become a mum in the playground and people will judge you. I then had a teaching career. People judged the fact that I went back to work and my kids were in nursery. So there was some of my family that said to me, well, don't you just want to be a stay-at-home mum? Don't you just want to do that? Why do you need to go to work? I remember having that conversation with my nan in particular, and she was very like, why do you need to work, Lisa? I remember having those conversations. I was like, Nan, life is expensive. Can't afford to just be at home all the time. And then I remember joining Sensi, and there being judgment there also. I remember and there still is. And do you know what? The judgment has come from so many aspects. It's come from friends and family that don't really understand the switch from being a teacher to selling online. Selling online, there is judgment there. There has been judgment there. There has been judgment from other Sensi consultants and, you know, people that maybe put me on a little bit of a pedestal, which has happened over time, where people will say, oh, she thinks that she's better than us. She thinks that she's trying to rescue everybody and be the hero for everybody because she shares stuff in all these different places. Honestly, guys, the list goes on. It is endless. And when I started using Instagram, there was definitely a level of judgment there. However, this isn't a woe is me training. This is how I decided. I made a decision that my reason for doing this was so big in comparison to what other people's thoughts were. There has got to become a point where you decide someone else's faults are not paying my bills. Someone else's faults is not going to get me my free Sensi. Someone else's opinions is not going to be, you know, like that deep down feeling of, I think I could be quite good at this, but I worry so much about what other people think that actually that's what holds me back. That's where my confidence goes and dips in. And if I'm saying that and this resonates with you, this is something that you can make, you can change, okay? You can choose to make those changes. Because realistically, every single time somebody made a judgment call on me, whatever that judgment might look like, based on what I'm wearing, based on the type of events that I'm doing, based on me going live on my personal profile, based on a personal special that I decided to do, based on us hosting an event or not hosting an event, going to an event, not going to an event, etc., etc. All of those things, people's opinions and judgments do not get me any closer to my why. Let me tell you very quickly in a nutshell. My why for doing this is so that there's two parts to my why. One, heavily related to my family and my house and my children, is that I get to be that mum for my kids. I get to be here for them if I do this job and I do it well. That's the first part. The second part is you guys, the community that we have, the team that we have. I absolutely adore. I absolutely adore it. And I wouldn't have it any other way. And if I didn't do this business, if I wasn't in network marketing and just went back to teaching, I wouldn't get the joy that I get from you guys being here and being part of this. Now, if I allowed, and I have been that person where those little judgments have come in, if I allowed all of those people's judgments and worried about what they were saying, even if they were saying them to my face, and I let those in, and I let those into my head, and my head started going, do you know what? They think this about me. They think that about me. That person believes I'm this. That person believes this narrative about me, but doesn't even know me. Then my business would never grow. What would happen to my business is I wouldn't show up. I wouldn't post on Instagram. I wouldn't post in my customer group. Or I might only post in a really small, select place where no one really knows that I do this. And I might struggle each month, even though deep down, there's a little voice in there saying, I really wish I could be more successful with this. Why do I worry so much about what people think? And if this is resonating with you, even a little bit, I want you to know that I've been through some really rough times in the last year where I have worried about what people think. I have worried about the narrative that people are spinning on me. I have worried about whether people like me, hate me, whether they judge what I'm putting out on social media, whether they judge my Instagram, whether they judge the fact that I'm talking about things that aren't necessarily Sensi, or even if they've judged the fact that maybe I've done some work for companies that aren't Sensi, for example. Trust me, people have got a lot of opinions out there, right? People, I mean, you only have to scroll all the buy and sell pages, the school mums group chat, all the different places. You scroll them, you're going to get opinions, right? You're going to get opinions as to whether people think, and it might not necessarily be just about you, But people just have an opinion on everything these days. It's like we've got this suddenly, this freedom of speech via social media, and it's like everybody can be an anonymous participant somewhere and say nasty things to people across the internet. It's happening, right? There is only one way that you ignore that. And that one way is that you have a why, a reason for doing Scentsy that is so big that whenever you hear or think about those thoughts, whenever you think about what somebody else thinks or does or has an opinion, you can give it 2 fingers. Because at the end of the day, their opinion of you is not going to pay your bills if you're using your Scentsy money to pay your bills. If you are using your Scentsy business to get more free wax, you're not going to get that if you're worrying about somebody else's opinions. If your little business is going to be the difference between what gives you an extra £100 a month to be able to put towards a holiday, that's not going to happen if you are worrying about what other people think about you. You have got to have a reason that makes you decide, I'm going to Scentsy each day, whether it's a little bit of Scentsy each day or whether it's an hour here or whether you work that bad boy full time like me. You've got to have a big enough reason to be able to help you ignore the noise. And trust me, the noise at the moment, just in the world of social media in general, is big. It's loud, it's proud. There are people out there that don't like network marketing. There are people out there that don't like Scentsy, that think Scentsy is old hat or whatever. It's completely normal because it's exactly the same in every business, in every way of life. There are people out there that don't like clothes that Zara puts in their clothes shops, that New Look puts in their clothes shops. I bet there are things in McDonald's, like my husband bought me a McCrispy or whatever it's called, the chicken crispy burger home the other week. Honestly, I could have thrown it at his face. I was like, that is disgusting. I do not like that McCrispy burger. That's my opinion of that, okay? I love a McChicken sandwich meal. It's my opinion. And if McDonald's let that opinion, my one opinion, seep in, and they took McCrispy off their menu for everybody, then my one opinion, first of all, would have just won over. Lots of people would be impacted because they can't get their McCrispy. I've gone completely off a tangent with this, but I know where I'm going with it. And if we worry about other people's opinions of what we're doing, it becomes detrimental to us, to what we want to achieve. And I think that's what I want you to take away from this little live today, from a little bit of motivation. If you are having thoughts about, I'm worried what people think. I'm worried that people think I'm working this business and this business. I'm worried that people think I'm not doing enough. I'm worried that people think that I'm spammy pammy because I do. You have got to find a way where you can ignore their comments, their thoughts, because 9 times out of 10, right? The reason somebody is judging you, the reason somebody is putting you down publicly or not publicly in a group, whatever it might look like, there's going to be a few reasons. Number one, they're just a born nasty person. And those people, you're never going to change their opinion anyway. So why bother wasting the energy trying? Trust me, I need to take a little bit of advice on this. Number two, it comes from a jealous place. Normally, it's someone else's, what's the word? Someone else's their problem. It's their problem. Like normally it's something to do with them. That's the reason. I can't think the word I'm looking for, but I know what I mean. It's like a reflection on them, not on you. That's kind of what I was looking at. So people that have like jealous traits, or they are a bit like, oh, look at what that person's doing. Normally it's because you're doing something that's not the norm, and they don't either understand it, or actually deep down they wish that they had the confidence to do what you're doing. So it's and that's normally, it's a reflection on them, not on you. Okay? And here's the other thing, right? We worry so much sometimes about what people are thinking. But actually, like, how many of you have had someone say, oh, I really thought your opinion of me was X, Y, Z. And they're like, no, I didn't even have a chance. I didn't even think that, because it's not even crossed my mind. Like, think about it this way. I'm so busy in my own life trying to run my business, sort my family, sort my kids. I don't have time to judge somebody else's reason for doing what they do. Like, I do not have I do not have it in me to be able to judge what Sally down the road is doing, if she's starting a new network marketing business, or she's, I don't know, decided to become a hairdresser and give up everything that she knows. One, it's not my business. Two, I'm not a judgmental person. Three, I haven't got time to worry about what Sally down the road is doing. I need to just worry about me and earning my money, earning my business. So I wanted to share this with you because I want you to know that we all go through these things, okay? I have been where lots of you are, but I also, the more of you I speak to, the more of you say to me, some of you, it's, I've lost my mojo, but you've lost your mojo because somebody somewhere has written something that you thought was about you. So I'm going to give you some tips, things that you can do. If there is someone that you think is judging you, that is making you feel uncomfortable, and when you are trying to post about your Scentsy business, I want you to make sure, first of all, they're not in your customer group. That's the first thing you're going to do. The second thing that I would probably do is actually remove them from social media. I have blocked people this week, which I don't like to do. I don't like to be the person that blocks people. But I realised that actually they were making me feel uncomfortable on my own personal social media. Now, why should anybody have that power to make you feel uncomfortable in your own personal space, whether you're posting publicly or whether you're posting on your own personal social media? So if that is the case, remove them, okay? If it makes it difficult to remove them because maybe they're a close friend or a family member, you can put a post out publicly and you can change the settings so that that person can't see that particular post. And they can see all your other posts, they just can't see your Scentsy post. So if that is how you're feeling, go and look at your settings on social media and play about with it. However, my biggest tip for you would be to grow the thick skin. Now, it's easily said than done. I haven't always had a thick skin. I have had many tears over the way people have treated me in life in general, not just recently, but in life in general. And it's not easy. Honestly, it's not easy. But the more you put yourself out there and you learn to ignore these feelings, most of it probably is more what you are worrying about than what they are worrying about. And I want to say this because there are lots of you that are not posting publicly because you're worried about what people think. You're not posting in buy and sell pages or marketplace because you're worried who might see it. You're not going live because you're scared of what people might think. Or maybe you stopped going live. You stopped offering borrow bags out because you got worried about what people think, or because of one negative comment that made you think, I can't do this anymore. I don't think I can do this anymore. Maybe you stopped building a team because you had a few people that joined up and then did nothing. And you took that upon yourself and now you feel bad about that area of your business. And you're like, I'm just not going to do that anymore because this is what happened. This is a mindset thing for you guys. You've got to have a little bit of resilience and you've got to be okay with the fact that people are going to talk. People are going to judge you. But then remember that it's a reflection on them. Remember, it's a reflection on them and the way that they are choosing to put it out there, put it out on social media, whatever they do, whatever that might look like, it is a reflection on them. And trust me, there's a lady at the minute, there's an anti-network marketing lady on YouTube who is making videos about me and Laura, one after the other right now. Honestly, one after the other. And she was an ex-Scentsy consultant, not even in this country. She's from America. And she is making videos about me, one after the other. And that is out on the big wide web. And she is ripping all my training apart. But do I care? I did. But now I don't, because she doesn't pay my bills. Nothing that she does allows me to go and pick my children up from school. Nothing that she does allows me to have the life that I've got. So why would you allow somebody else to have that power over you? That's what I'm asking. Because I allowed that for a period of time. And I've made a decision. New Lisa, not happening no more. So why don't you make that decision with me? It's your Monday morning reminder that you are a badass, okay? You can do this. Don't let anybody impact what you choose to put out into the world, what you choose to share, what you choose to train or how you choose to work your business, how you choose to live your life, what you choose to wear, okay? Don't be that person. Don't allow them to. If they want to judge, let them judge in their corner. Let them go be judgy Julie over there somewhere. And just don't let it in. Even if you see it in black and white. Let it be water off duck's back, because they are not going for the goals that you are going for. And this business can change your life if you allow it. And you don't allow these things in. So that's my Monday morning message for you. I hope it makes you nice and resilient. I hope it makes you brave enough to go and post all the air purifiers. You're not going to sell one if you don't post it. Simple as that. You're not going to sell one if you don't post it. And I will speak to you all soon. Have a good Monday, guys.